What's going on, everybody? Time for another YouTube recap. So monster earnings, and our last prediction was if the earnings are bad on our chippers, we're going to go down, maybe face the double gap, right, from the daily. And if it's good, it's sky high. And this morning, obviously, we've seen AMD go up. So the market has to follow the flavor of the month, right, or flavor of the year. Maybe the last couple of years, whatever you want to call it. It is the AI hype train. And whenever we get AMD, NVIDIA, anything, Microsoft doesn't matter, but a little bit of tits and bits there, but those are going to pull the market. There's only literally 4 stocks that affect the entire S&P 500 for the last couple of years, and that is the chippers. So when you see AMD flying, we are going up, 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 right? No matter what. And in this morning in my chat, I also said the exact same thing. We covered a whole bunch of messing around here. I'm just going to grab the old Discord, and we have zero expectations, zero prediction, because it is a day-to-day. That's where I was coming right here. But I said it will get a force-up scam, no predictions, only chart reactions. And then I showed everybody this algo right here. Right? On Qs, we'll go over this. That's the opening 5-minute candle. And in the Discord, we also went over that on a force-up day, crazy FOMC earnings and days all combined, we make big gap ups in a ton, use opening like today, and it will move up, up, and away, right? So we have that gap up overnight and the move. And then again, I go through here and I said a few different things. It's just going to keep breaking out. We did ADP, and then like I said, against all data, it will move higher. Doesn't matter what it is. Again, data is just going to move higher. And I'm saying this all before open, all before. This is in pre-market at about 7:15, 7:14 a.m. right there. Noting that the VIX was at the zero line, perfect resistance, so on and so forth. But like I said, we will be coming back up, and this is what we were posting way ahead of time. We were warning everybody that was going straight up. Now, this was 7 a.m. This was way back here at about 7:15 before this breakout. I seen this coming. Well, how did I know it was just going to fly, fly, fly? Well, the AMD earnings was one. And then obviously we had a squeeze for getting back to a back test of magnet moving averages. If you watched the last YouTube video, I said we have an opportunity to come back up to the 10 SMA and 50 SMA, and these are the dailies, right? So what better day than today to have a reversal push where AMD, where we trapped fresh lows because we were worried about last Thursday's candle immensely, and we needed to get over right here, 467, and then I said it would move to 50 SMA and 10 SMA and so on and so forth, all the way back up to the next, right? So this was a perfect force-up day, and I said indicators don't matter, shut them off, just buy every dip. That's it, as far as oscillation goes. So during this consolidation in pre-market, notice right here, it's very easy to see. I'm going to move it over just a smidge for you guys. You can see the MACD and RSI during a straight locked consolidation of no highs, no lows, no trend. It is sideways. You have the reset of the RSI coming all the way back down and up. It does have zero effect, and then more importantly, the MAC coming from a high to the zero line, and the whole time for hours and hours and hours of the MAC pulling back, the price action was holding, 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 holding. That is a perfect signal of up potential because the market is not following oscillation one bit. And then again, you've seen it twice. So if I move it even back here in after hours, it did the same thing. We have pullbacks and pullbacks and pullbacks on the MAC for hours and hours and hours. And what did it do? Up, up, up. Complete divergence of oscillation indicators. That's a guarantee that we're going to be moving up, right? No matter what. So what do? We got an algo here on the 5-minute. I told everybody in my crew to just please, in the premium Discord, do not mess with this stuff as we went over, right? Just dip buy. We're going to show you some anchors, hopefully after this, on how to dip buy, but I said the over-under is 465. If we stay above this algo, it is straight up, right? And let's look at some of the key factors here. We're going to drop down to the minute chart, because on force-up algo scams, the minute does proceed pretty decent. Again, we're not even using the oscillation indicators. These are dead to us today, and we identified that very early. Oh, wrong zoom. So coming into the 1-minute chart, right? We usually watch for catch-ups. I'm really big on the 100 EMA, and I'm very big on VWAP, right? So those are the two really large ones. The purple VWAP is regular. The orange is the +2 deviation, -2 in the blue, away from the VWAP, and we use these a lot. So when you see a force up like this, anything above here is perfect. She's gone, right? And then we had 7:30 a.m. data. So we have 2 different fibs to use, right? We'll go over SPYs as well. And SPY was a little cleaner than Qs, like always, but we trade the Qs a lot here. So we have that fib down there and this fib. These are the only levels that matter. I don't care what the oscillation says. We're literally just going to use premium fib levels. That is it, like we usually do. Let's make it less confusing. We're going to drop this one. We're just going to use the data fib from 7:30. What do we see? We box out the data. I know it's small, but it's very controlled. From the 100 right to the 1618, back down. Oh, lo and behold, golden pocket tag all along from there. 2618. And notably, the 2618 from the data never pulled back. This sucker just held on for dear life and pressed higher and higher, right? So the only counter trend trades you could possibly take away from this 2618, as we said in the prior YouTube video, we were coming up to the 10 SMA, in the 50 SMA, right? We have moved into the +2 VWAP deviation many times for this short and this short. And then I'm very adamant on the Powell algo kick. So prior to the FOMC and Powell, about 12:30, prior to speaking, I always short. Here's 12:15, 12:30, like I told my chat, short that, wham, another Powell algo. But more importantly, the 100 EMA and VWAP are the things that you needed to wait to catch back up. And the anchors we're going to go over will also signify the confirmation of support here. So it ran away from the 100 EMA, which is in the green here, bounce, 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 triple, came down, finally broke, had a little 3 up down. Big extension down. This is the one we finally came back to the VWAP in the purple and recovered just fine and kept the squeeze alive. Now, we knew it was going up. I said, please don't short anything. It is 100% dip buy scenario. Close your eyes, buy highs. That's what we told the chat. Went over it all in Discord. Now, we made it to the 666, as you can see, after hours there with the perfect algo fib, and that's where it started pulling back, right? Let's take a peek at SPY. Very similar. And I'm going to use this 730 data high-low on the 1 minute. Right? I'll remove this one for now. So same scenario here, but SPY actually played out a lot cleaner. And the cool thing about SPY was we held the gap up, right? So this is yesterday's highs at the bottom of this gray box, and we held a sliver gap. So that means, again, when we shy stuff like a common gap fill where yesterday's price action opens up high and we don't come back down to yesterday's highs and fill that as a common gap, it's left open as a regular gap. So with this algo right here, pushed up, shied the 1618, now we have full algo data on the bottom side of the fib. No, nothing to clear host on the downside. It's all upside from here. So anything over 548.79 on the top of the fib, we're going to find extensions. Boom, 1618. Boom, 216. What it come back down to? 100 EMA. Right back up. Counter trend +2. VWAP extension comes back down. Consolidation junk afternoon, waiting for the Powell. Comes on pre-Powell, pre-1 p.m. So we're down to 12:15, 12:30. There's a pre-Powell sell, generally for the algos. That happened. Came back down to, again, the 100 fib right here. That is the algo from pre. Ding. Just simple price leveling. That is it. Right back up. Higher load the VWAP and the 1618 and move to the last positional Fibonacci for the day. So again, very easy dip by day, buy every dip and just force up. It was crazy. And we had that just from the algos, but we knew that in pre-market. We predicted it in Discord as we showed. So some of the anchors that I wanted to go back over here real quick. I don't think nope, definitely did not. That randomly closed. The new PC life. Hurtful. So let's grab the old boom, boom. Now, these anchors were extremely clean today as well, as far as it goes for, let's do a single pane here, as far as confirmation goes. So over on the Qs here, we like to use anchor VWAPs. And on the Qs here, I trade in Q off the Qs, and that is way too long of a time frame. There we go. And what we did was, because we didn't have any good pre-market and we had been way too far away from price action from yesterday, right? So what I mean by that is we just had a huge dump, ended close back here, and then we opened up way up here. So we're not going to be able to use the anchor VWAPs from yesterday at all. We need to make new ones for today. So we had to sit on our hands, wait for the open, and if you were super patient and only click buttons when anchors and Fibonacci are in sequence and confirming, the low of day would be your dip buy zone. So let it run away from you. Do whatever you want. When it comes back down to that low of day, buy, and boom. That would be trade number one. Trade number two was another one. We have two different highs to work with here. So you could do an anchor from the original high, right? And we do need to get that data from the top. So we got to move that over to the high. There we go. And now these two top-down anchors give you confirmation as well. So notice here, when these top anchors were made, blue lines go up. We had a breakout over that when we dipped the bottom. Came to the bottom anchor, broke through, right? No more resistance. These are not resistance. But what does that mean? Well, when these break through an anchor VWAP, these two specifically, price action went through, right? And we need to confirm to come back. So it snapped through, and we need to come back to test. So when it flew up here for a beautiful high, all you had to do was wait for the breakdown and the initial weakness to come back down for another short scalp where the just one indicator anchor view apps predicting where we're going to go for that short. And we need to confirm the back test of the breakout anyway. So this big run up, Powell FOMC crap, comes back down to anchor point. Okay, it has to. That has to confirm, whether it be today or the next day or whatever. It doesn't matter when. It just has to eventually. And we always leave the anchors on as they are looking for confirmation. Right? Those confirmations are very important. So let's take a peek at SPY right here. Last but not least, we have very clean indicators for SPY. Same exact thing. We have original high of day, and this was a pretty brutal one. Original high of day was the early one that I played here on ES. And what, again, the low of day pushes up. Let me get yellow. Yellow is way easier to see here. So from low of day here, it pushes up over the top anchor. So we set it right here, initial open high, pushes through there, right? Hits an extension. We have some, I'm not going to tell you what those are, but we have resistance blocks right here. Comes down, back test, same theory. Comes back up, higher high, back test. Well, when it finally loops and breaks down, that's when our second anchor comes into play, right? So again, this is low of day anchor. Let's remove this one, make it nice and easy. Low of day anchor puts up, and if you don't touch anything until anchor, comes in, you're in good standing of risk management. Pushes up, higher high, consolidation for the Powell, drops. And of course, this is a data drop. It's not some kind of regular technical analysis where it's going to perfectly hit your view app and go. It is going to dominate through the view app and then loop back up and squeeze, right? But you had two different entries here. Look how clean these entries are in confirmation. If you zoom in, when it broke, then you start looking at longs down here, right? We have perfect entry, perfect here on the confirmation. Do you see it? We have the low and yes, the higher low confirmation. Not only do we have the crosses on the mat coming back up here as well, saying, hey, we're going to get kicked back to the upside. That low recovered the anchor, back tested the anchor, and continued to flow, right? So we were obviously going to come to at least high day, relaxed a little bit at prior high. You see right there, prior high, relax candle right here. Pulls back, shoots again. But what do we have to do to confirm a back test? Well, I like to move my anchors over as I play in the day. So if I completed this anchor, I'm going to move it to the next low day. And look what happens. This is a beautiful tag here, and then it runs away, snapping back into the confirmed anchor. We're going to do one more anchor and see if it's going to be on today or tomorrow. And I would do this high. Okay. And this is where we get tags. So a lot of my strategies where I post all these plays on X and Twitter comes from an anchor here, but we were hit right here, 3 different candles and almost one right here. So this anchor is already tagged. It is not a no tag anchor, right? So if it was a no tag anchor, it would require a magnet to back test, and hopefully it is the next day. But sometimes we don't get everything as clean as we'd like it, but that is a potential. So a lot of confirmation and a lot of perfect calls like we showed on the Discord there about only longs today, only longs. And it's all from chipper earnings, right? So if you want to trade with us live, we do this stuff. We narrate it every single morning that we can. We trade live. Link is in the description. We talk about it. We narrate it. We talk pre-market. We do these recaps for the YouTube and try to help everybody we possibly can. We have codes for Top Step. We have codes for Apex if you're a funded trader. And if you want to support the channel, great. If not, we'll see you on the next video.